The katydid, also known as a bush cricket or longhorned grasshopper, comes from the family Tetygonidae, suborder Encephera, and is a polygamous insect generally found in grassy regions, open fields, and throughout the United States. It also happens to be the name of a pretty incredible improv troupe formed in Chicago by 6 amazing and hilarious ladies who all happen to have a name that is an iteration of Kathryn. The Katydids turned their amazing improv show into a web series and then found their way to TVLand. The series is called Teachers and stars Caitlyn Barlow as Cecilia Cannon, Katy Colloton as Chelsea Snap, Kate Lambert as Caroline Watson, Katie O'Brien as Mary Louise Bennigan, Kathryn Renee Thomas as Deb Adler, and Kate Friedman as AJ. Together, the Katydids form an unstoppable comedy force that not only star in their own show, but write and executive produce it as well. With fellow executive producer Alison Brie from Community and Glow, Teachers airs every Tuesday on TVLand and returns for the second part of their second season on November 7th. I got the chance to sit down with 5 of the 6 series regulars to find out what their characters are up to this season and what sort of hijinks we can expect from the rest of Season 2 and beyond. One little shameless plug before we jump into the interview. The show's Patreon page is now up and running at patreon.com/friendorfoe. Of course, that's FAUX. Please drop by and, spare a few dollars if you possibly can. It takes a whole lot of effort to record, edit, put together the show every week or every other week or as soon as I can possibly get it out to you, and every little bit counts. It really, really does. So please check out the Patreon page. And as always, please follow the show across social media at Friend or Foe Pod. That's FAUX, of course. And I would also really like to thank my social media assistant, Beth Crudell, who joined me for a second show. I really, really appreciate her jumping in. Everything she does is amazing. I would also like to give a big round of shouts to my very great friend, Libby Ward, who is an insanely amazing, hilarious comedy writer, and she is the show's new game producer. So we do play some new games in this show, which I am super excited about. Also, a lovely gentleman named Christopher Chavez helped me to edit this episode. I did do this as a remote, so there are some sound issues, and I do apologize for that. Christopher and I did our very best to work those out, but, as they say in the radio world and the podcast world, you can't unbake the cake. So there are some little glitches and shuffles in the audio, so sorry about that. But this interview is really amazing. It was such a pleasure to sit down with all the ladies. Let's get to it. Without further ado, here is episode 56 of Friend or Foe with the cast of Teachers.
This is the Jabberjaw Podcast Network.
Yeah.
She's checking in real good.
This is a safe show.
Also, this is important for you to know that. What time is it? 8:30.
Stay tuned. It's gonna be a long day.
Early for that joke, girl. That's like a 9 p.m.
Yeah, that's a 9 a.m.er.
You really stuck that in.
I will pass this. Yeah.
You'll start.
Yeah.
You seem the most skilled with a big black dildo.
Thank you.
Can you get in?
Watch Teachers on TVLand starting.
That's it. That's all we do.
And these campaigns.
That's it.
It's way too early.
I'm sorry, Devlin. I have a 2-month-old baby, so I haven't slept for
No, you'd still be trash with that.
You're 100%.
I can't even put that on.
Don't even, girl. Nice try, girl.
Yeah, right. It's the baby.
Is that your first child?
Yeah, so I'm like extremely sleep deprived,
Yeah.
so I just kind of have no filter.
But
so
it wouldn't
sorry.
matter.
Oh.
And we wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah. And
How are you? Because I love it because you go, what did she say? And I had to go, grandma. With the big book.
What did she say?
What's that?
What is that? What did she say?
And you had to repeat it? I had to repeat it. Same thing to repeat.
No, this is great. We're already jumping right into it. And as far as no filter, your characters really don't have one either, which is so hilarious. I didn't make it through all of the episodes, but I've been bouncing around, and all of your characters are so great. I know that you are. First of all, let me congratulate you. Not only in this is going to be the premiere on November 7th. Is the second part of season 2, right?
Yes.
Excellent. So congratulations on that, for sure.
Thank
you. Thank you. Yeah. For our listeners, and I'm going to put this in the intro, we're doing a little bit of the campfire talking stick because, hey, gotta work with what you have.
I'm actually very comfortable with this. I wanted to be a news anchor for a while.
Oh, really?
So this is very going to be fun for me. Yeah, pass along the mic. The gigantic microphone.
She's going to answer all the questions. You won't hear from any of us.
This is Kate Lambert reporting live. Big leg dildo.
It's okay. I do it all the time. It's just Wendy McClellan-Covey thought that was pretty hilarious. She gave me a very, I did that whole thing where I had it in her face and she was like, whoa. Sorry, Wendy. Sorry. But you created the show from your improv group, the Katydids, and if you would please go around and introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Caitlyn Barlow.
I'm Katie O'Brien.
Katy Colloton. Kathryn Thomas. Kate Lambert.
Excellent.
We all the same name.
I was going to do that thing where I was going to give you all name tags, and I was like, nope. You know what? I'm just gonna go right into it.
We all respond. If you say like, "Hey Kate" or "Hey
Yeah.
Tommy," you would. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Great. So I want to find out a little bit more about you and the improv group. I know the Katydids were formed in Chicago. So how did you find your characters for the show? How did you pull it from the improv group into your show characters?
Yeah. Well, when we, this was about 6 or 7 years ago when the idea of the web series first came about. We all wanted to create a character, and we all have sort of different origin stories for our characters, which we can share. But it's roughly we took maybe some kernel of ourselves and then exaggerated it greatly. For example, my character Miss Cannon. At the time when we wrote the web series, I was in a bilingual, bicultural education master's program, which was very multicultural and education will save the world and kind of hippy-dippy. And I was very into that, but it was also at times kind of ridiculous.
Like Up With People.
It was very Up With People.
I traveled in Up With People, so I know all about it.
What's up with people?
Yeah, I was just about to ask that.
So, Up With People started out as a moral rearmament group in 1965, I believe. Started by Blanton Belk, and I forget the other gentleman's name, but essentially, when it started out, it was called Sing Out, and they essentially traveled around speaking the word of Jesus. And that's totally it.
Good for you. You got a good sense of that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Good radar.
They've come a long way since then. They're now very much in the modern age. I traveled, years ago, so now they travel across a couple continents and perform a show, do some sort of community involvement program wherever they go, staying with host families and stuff.
Like missionaries or no?
It used to be,
Gotcha.
but not anymore.
Okay.
Now it's more about cultural awareness and education, and helping communities and stuff like that. It's more about lifting up the communities wherever they go and doing a show.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Heard of it.
Mm-hmm. I want to talk a little bit about all of the amazing guest stars and recurring characters that you've had on the show. I love Haley Joel Osment as Damian. So much fun and so
great.
Just so out there.
Yeah.
He sort of plays that same character in Silicon Valley too.
Yeah.
Have you seen the? Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's him.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
He gets so much enjoyment out of that beard.
We all do.
You know, he's a great improviser. Like we on set definitely shoot the script, but we let people play, and he is a great improviser. He came up with a bunch of buttons to scenes that we used that were really funny. So I was really impressed with that.
Yeah.
You know, because not a lot of actors are comfortable with that.
And that is kind of him to some degree, but like intelligent, you know, because Damian's a little bit of a doofus, but he kind of radiates that positive energy, that really lovely, kind energy. You know, I think when we wrote the role of Damian, we were picturing someone a little older and more grizzled. You know, I think an agency submitted Dave Navarro.
Are you serious?
Yeah, for the role, and that was really more what I think I was picturing, and I think a lot of us were picturing. Yeah. And then our casting director Sherry Hernandez pitched Haley, and it was like, this is not what we're thinking. And he submitted an audition and was fantastic, and just took the part in a whole new direction that we weren't anticipating, and it was beautiful and hilarious. And his character, I think, could potentially have been very unlikable, and he made him so delightful. And he's just a sweet, great dude. We're lucky to have him.
It's early. I know. We should mention you were nice enough to meet us very early.
Yes, thank you for that.
Thank you. It was very nice.
Bless you all. Thank you so much.
Very nice that we could stay in the writer's room for the full time today, so thank you.
Up with people. All right, I want to get a little bit deeper into all of your characters on the show. I wrote down a few notes. I know Cecilia teaches fourth grade art. She is definitely one to question authority. She's a hippie. I saw from one of the promo videos in an open relationship. Tell me all about Cecilia and how.
Sure. So Cecilia Kennan became the art teacher in season 2, and though her school woefully underfunds her program and she has to dig through garbage for art supplies, she's very passionate about making the school a better place through art. So she's very, very optimistic in the face of adversity. And yes, she's just, just loves everyone. She doesn't believe in restrictions or boundaries. We have a joke that we haven't really gotten to play out fully yet in the writer's room, that Cecilia is in an open relationship with a person named Geode, who we don't know the gender of. So, yeah.
If he's as outlandish as those earrings, then no, not the ones you're wearing. Oh, I'm so sorry. No. I was.
That would be so good. That's her personal area.
Rudest interview ever.
They are awful. No. In the episode, there's like the giant span. Yeah. And so,
All good.
No, we were talking about the garbage.
We would have respected you forever.
They're actual lyrics. I have got to talk to you about your
let's take it outside.
We went one by one and took each of us down in one
thing about it.
Yeah. I'm going to start that podcast.
Okay.
So
no, please do.
Just totally tear someone down
Colors
like
not
Jenga.
Yeah.
Just we all crumble like Jenga throughout the interview.
The Roasters podcast.
Perfect.
Oh yeah. And Chelsea Snap. I have the bitchy one.
Thank you so much.
Teaches fourth grade. Just can't with bangs. Really narcissistic. Likes to sleep around.
Yes, she's based off me. It is just me. Miss Stapp is the pop culture obsessed, self-obsessed one. I think she, probably was like, she probably wasn't prom queen in high school. She's probably like the third runner-up, and like has always been obsessed with appearance and being cool and being liked and everything that happens. And this year, actually, it happens gradually, but she's starting to get a little bit woke. She gets on the feminist trend, but, she's completely absurd, so her point of views are wrong. Actually, her point of views are right. Everything she does to help with the cause is wrong. But yeah, she considers herself like the Gigi Hadid of Fillmore Elementary, is what I think she thinks. and she wants a Cody Simpson or whoever she's dating.
I'm looking forward to what's coming up with all of your characters. I'm really looking forward to the progression of your character.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, because the season, the 10 that are about to air, we have some really fun plots that we're excited about that are kind of like funny but also making a statement. We have Chelsea and Miss Bennigan trying to shame a woman who's publicly breastfeeding, and obviously we don't approve of that. And then we have her not realizing she's being sexist towards girls in math and science. We kind of have her STEM plot. So there's some fun stuff to realize, like Chelsea realizing she has a gender bias is one of my favorite episodes coming up.
Awesome. I can't wait for that. All right. And Kate Lambert, I'm sorry, I should have been introducing you each as your character. Caroline Watson had a relationship with a mannequin named Dalton. Hopeless romantic.
That's based in real life.
Yeah, that is so me. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It seems like most of there are a lot of character qualities that you pulled from IRL.
Inanimate objects, yes, always.
She loves a man who doesn't talk back.
Yeah. It's perfect. Yeah. Never asked me to change the channel. What more could you ask for?
Have you seen these articles about the sex robots?
Yes. No, but you know what? I did see. I remember. Do you guys remember Real Sex?
Yeah.
When we were like 15 or something, it was
like-
like basically what you could
Yeah.
watch instead of porn. And I watched one at a friend's house, and these guys had relationships with like blow up dolls. Well, they weren't blow up dolls, I guess, but they had like mouths like that, like opened and stuff. And anyway, I mean.
Please don't degrade them in that way and call them.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. Yeah, they do have a profession. It is, yeah. But anyway, yeah, it was like kind of terrifying.
It is really
they looked
terrifying.
real.
Honestly, I did a thing for a show like a month ago with a segment on sex robots, and he was doing an interview, and she was saying things like she was programmed to be very polite, and professional, of course. But she was saying things like, "I promise not to take over the world," and weird stuff like that.
Like
Did you?
Skynet.
Yeah. Listen, Elon Musk is not joking around.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
He's
think
onto
it's coming.
something. Yeah.
There was an article yesterday that I just saw that we now have our very first robot citizen. I don't remember the country. It wasn't here. But a robot now has citizenship.
It's me.
Congratulations.
Yeah, she's
Please,
been so real for so long.
Yeah.
I will not take over the world.
Promise.
I'm watching you. I'm watching you. Katie O'Brien. Mary Louise Bennigan.
Yeah.
Excellent. Super Christian.
Yeah.
Former counselor at Rapture Camp.
Proud.
Tell me all about it.
Proud member. Mary Louise is really Christian. She's very naive, awkward. She has kind of like a single white female relationship with Miss Snap.
Based in reality.
Yeah. And she has a kind of a budding relationship with Hot Dad. She's like a hot dad at the school, and his name is Hot Dad. He doesn't have a name. Yeah.
Yeah, the one beautiful man on our show, we would like to not give him any. We want to not give him a name. Just like all women in all other shows are not given.
Poor Ryan, the guy who plays Hot Dad, Ryan, is really objectified and is a great sport about it. I feel like everything we write for him is like, take off your shirt, smile, don't talk. But he's great. But so my characters, that's kind of my character in a nutshell.
Are we? Should we look forward to a wild raucous dance party?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With your
Actually,
character.
the season opens with a wild raucous dance party.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wait,
Hoedown.
it ends. Well, it opens and
Hoedown.
ends, yeah. With a wild raucous dance party.
It
The
ends
Chewy
with one?
Squeeze.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Chewy
right.
Squeeze.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, it starts and ends with dancing.
Yeah, so we open with the hoedown.
Intentional.
Oh.
Yeah, which is like a school dance, and then we close
Do,
with
do,
a
do, do, do,
1940s
do.
episode, actually. It's all shot in black and white.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, Really cool. It's
Oh.
like, we were all
Is that an
period
exclusive? Oh, I
makeup
love that.
and hair. Yeah, it was so much fun.
Awesome. I love period stuff. It's really my favorite. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. All right, you guys.
We all
Well, we have, if you caught the first half of the second season, we have a whole plot about periods and, how men perceive women on their periods and how we can exploit that and use it to our advantage.
I can't wait to watch it. I'm so sorry I haven't gotten there yet, but I'm going to. Well, I know the first season was a short season. It had 10 episodes, and then the second season was 20 episodes. So this is going to be the second half of that when it premieres on the 7th.
Right.
Excellent. I can't wait to watch. You're all so much fun to watch, and all your characters are so lively and vibrant and different. How did you go about creating those characters, like when you did them for your original improv group?
Oh, yeah, we can go around and say that, because Snap started out just like for the web series, I had the nugget of the desire to be liked. I figured a teacher who, because that's something I can be a people pleaser, and it came from, I have a huge desire to be liked, but you put it in a teaching situation and, parents aren't going to like you, kids aren't going to like you, the administration isn't going to like you. It's kind of not ideal. And then after the web series, we got the pilot and the pickup for the show, that wasn't kind of enough. And we kind of needed, when we talked about, the group in general, I think you kind of needed the queen bee or a little bit the bitch, and it kind of went in a different direction. But that was kind of the nugget of it, was just it started as people pleaser or wanting to be liked, and then now it's become this narcissistic, superficial, needs to be perfect, wants to control, fear tactic type woman. So it's gone really far off from where I started, but it's still she has a huge, people who are incredibly superficial and want to get Botox and their lips done and their butt done, they're insecure. So that's kind of where she started, and she's grown.
I don't know if she has. Mary Lou's been good. Can't imagine.
I don't know. I think she's grown.
No one likes her.
No one.
Actually, this stuff takes. Well, we already said this, but you kind of take a totally different direction in season 3.
I do. Yes. And, we're writing season 3 right now. We got a season 3 pickup for 20 episodes, and yeah, she has. I think it's okay. She's a friend die, and it makes her open her eyes to everything she's doing wrong. So she's on a quest to become a better person in season 3. And it doesn't work. Or maybe it does. I don't know. We're not done writing. Right now. Yeah. At the end of season 3, she's going to be a saint.
Yeah. Similarly, Caitlyn said earlier, we kind of just took small things about ourselves. And I grew up super religious. I was very Catholic growing up. Very Catholic, actually. I was an altar girl. About being a nun. So I took that, and then I also just was very naive growing up. I was very sheltered, not in a bad way, but I think maybe in a good way. But I just had no clue what anything was, and so I think I just took those 2 things and kind of blew them out.
Yeah, like I said, Miss Cannon sort of came from wanting to save the world through education, and so I think that Miss Cannon is really how I was in college and graduate school, very optimistic, wanting to save the world, and then I just have become really shallow and bitter.
And angry.
Yeah, and angry.
Yeah.
And
vengeful.
I love it. I'd say for my character, the thing that's most similar is probably the organization, although I wish I was as organized as my character. She's very, everything, is put away and has a place, and she likes to do crafts, which I also like to do. It was just fun, Pinterest. It's a good time.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone should check it out.
Do you have things on Pinterest?
Brand ambassador. I'm a brand ambassador on Pinterest.
Yes.
So thank you for letting me promote my stuff here.
She started Pinterest.
Yeah. My middle name is Pinterest.
Yeah.
It's a family name.
So Deb came out of me in high school. So basically, I thought I finally got to a point in my life where I could really laugh at how tortured I thought I was when I was 16. And I grew up in a upper middle class suburb, and I was very homogenous, and I was very determined to be different and interesting. So I befriended a lot of the outcast kids, the punk kids, the goth kids, the gay kids, the hippie kids, which don't always go together, but in my school we all just kind of banded together. But I was a really good kid. I got straight A's and had a great relationship with my parents, but I just really fancied myself to be very dark and wear dog collars and, listen to a ton of Tori Amos and Joy Division. And I grew out of that. Still love Tori Amos and Joy Division, but I thought, what if a person just never got over that or never grew out of it and was still angry and was relentlessly bullied. We'd get kind of picked on a little, but we took the bullying and heightened it to a crazy place, like putting fetal pigs in your locker. That
what
never
the hell,
happened to me,
man?
thank God. But taking just blowing that out of proportion and seeing a 30-year-old woman in charge of children in this very dark place, and so that's where Deb came from.
Wow, fetal pigs and lockers. That's
that was a line in season 1. Yeah, that was a line we wrote in season 1 that Deb had someone put fetal pigs in her locker in high school.
And that's why she was the way she was. That's her origin story.
That's my origin story.
It explains it all.
But really, I was just called trash and rude words for lesbian.
You can say those rude words on the show if you want. It's totally NSFW. I think we all sort of go through an emo phase. I know I did. I was. You're looking at Mr. King nerd here. Every cliche you've ever seen in any sitcom or movie. I had swirlies. I was stuffed in lockers. There was one time this girl forced me to lick her boot. Yeah.
Devlin, why did you do that?
I had no spine.
What's her name?
I want to know her name. I want to know her Facebook handle.
She does not have a Facebook. I have looked.
He's looked.
I
have
was an
looked.
angry message.
Yeah, I know.
You've shown that.
I have grown a spine since then, and I learned martial arts, and now I can kick her ass if I ever meet her in person. So, don't you worry.
Definitely beat up a woman if you have the opportunity.
Now I have to edit that out. So much to get to, but I'm throwing out the notes. Let's play a game. So a friend of mine, her name is Libby Ward, and she is helping me to create games. She's an excellent comedic writer. Okay, thank you, Libby, for these. I'm going to try trying some of these out. I try to just do things a little different each time on the show.
Sure.
Okay, so if you could have a sideshow doctor add a new appendage or give you some sort of upgrade to your physical appearance, what would you choose?
Oh my God, I've never thought about that.
That's a really good question.
I think a hand on my back so it could massage my shoulders when I get stressed.
That sounds amazing.
That's the first thing I thought of. Clearly, stress and anxiety is high today. I don't know. That's all. That's
a
what I
good
think
question. I would,
Yeah, I have a new baby, so I think I would add a third arm, on my side, that could just hold the baby, and then I could do other stuff, or I could type and check Facebook.
That's awesome. I love that idea. It's a good idea.
I think I would do the classic eyes in the back of your head bit. You know
Yeah?
what I mean? So
She's paranoid.
yeah, just make sure
Paranoid one. You can tell the paranoid one.
Listen, I think it's important. You're walking around, you need to know what's going on. So there you go. I'll do that.
Also, great for you never have to worry about stalkers.
That's what I believe in. With Katy
All that kind of
Colloton, that is the big one for me. She's always following me everywhere. Just have to make sure she's
Just like to
behind
know
me.
where she's going. Just like to know where she's at all times. It's not weird.
Exactly.
This is a really weird question. I guess I'd want thicker, fuller hair.
You choose such a normal thing.
I mean, who doesn't? But I guess it's gotta be. You know what? I would ask for an extra brain. You're welcome. But an extra brain.
Nice.
But specifically, so I can compartmentalize things differently. I'd put all of the anything stressful or anxious or anything like that in one brain, and this but I'd need to be able to shut it down.
That brain.
I'd shut it down, and then you guys, we talk about my life.
Oh, go ahead. Say whatever you like. This is a safe space.
No, that's okay.
Now, here's the thing, though. If you had a separate brain, would you have, like, would you extend your skull? Would you have a larger skull? Would you have, like, a bulbous form, like, hanging off with the extra brain? That's the whole thing. Or would you want to upgrade your current brain, like that movie that I can't think of? I'm going to lose so many nerd points, but where
Where you take it and the
yes,
brain
exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Lucy or not Lucy. It's
I think I'd want it like a turkey, like a turkey's gizzard.
That'd be really
A gobbler hanging off.
But only if I have thicker, fuller hair.
You can hide it under your thick hair.
It'd be perfect.
I love that so much.
I have no clue. Extra brain's pretty good, and also thicker, fuller hair. I don't know. I guess maybe I'd get an extra row of teeth.
Hi, girl.
Like a shark?
Yeah, I just get another row. Just for the gimmick.
Eat more?
Yeah, eat more. Yeah. Something to show off.
Threatening? You
Make a
threaten
living.
people with it? I'm gonna say more teeth to floss, though, girl.
Give your dentist a nice shot.
Yeah.
Say, and he runs from the room.
It all the time. Where I'd like
Terrifying.
look normal, but I'd be like, ah!
That's pretty good. I'd like to change my answer.
If y'all didn't pick an extra row of teeth, you're not playing the game.
You are
right.
out.
That's true. You won.
Extra brain blew us out of the water.
Yeah, that's the,
But then when I tried
the
to
clear
explain
winner.
it got really deep and dark, and like I really thought about that one.
The
Too
only
much.
thing we have to think about, I think, is the placement of your brain.
Yeah.
That's the only thing we can really think.
What about like if you're
I'll have a gizzard anyway.
Yeah.
Old lady gizzard.
Oh, I was gonna say. I didn't need to say this. What if your brain was like a third boob?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I don't think there's one of us that didn't think third boob. I thought it. I mean,
totally
you thought
I
it.
did think
You
it.
think? Did you think it?
Boobs on my back, but then I was like, for what?
I actually didn't think third boob. I thought boobs on my boobs.
You know we all thought it.
We all thought
You're a dirty liar if you didn't. If you say you didn't think third boob.
And maybe like double nipples or something.
Yeah.
So,
Double nips. We're classy.
oh no, I love it. I think I would actually have a third leg.
Oh, that's
Like a kickstand?
Although
Yeah, exactly.
Could you walk?
An
faster, or
actual
do you think
kickstand.
Just get in your way.
Probably both, but once you figure it out, I think
Yeah.
I always dreamed of being a track star. So
Okay, ma'am, you need to leave. Oh my God.
Aunt Tina, get out.
so much like your character. Again, you've had so many great guest stars and recurring characters on the show. Who is someone that you would love to have on the show? Like best case scenario, who would you love to bring in and work with?
I mean,
we have a huge list of
my
women.
My answer, somebody's got
I always say Tony Hale. Tony Hale. Tony
Oh my God!
He's my
Oh
dream.
yeah, absolutely.
But yes, there's a
Yes.
huge list of women
Yeah.
that.
Katie pitches Tony Hill for everybody, even if they're a woman. Like a woman.
I've tried to get him on my show many
He
times.
is my favorite
Yeah,
person.
he's absolutely
But
brilliant.
I think actually thinking on that, dream woman might be Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And might be dream person
Yeah.
besides Tony Hale.
Yeah.
I wanted to get. I have a huge crush on Ali Wong. Like,
Yes.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
and we've tried to get her on. She's like really busy.
Uh huh.
She's
Sure.
super successful and the funniest person ever. But I would just die to have her on the show.
Yeah. I think another name that's come up a lot that we think would be really amazing would be Chelsea Handler.
For sure.
I think she's just, I mean, maybe not like, I think like she could be a good relative of Snaps, maybe, like a Snaps mom. But yeah, no, her name has come up a lot. I think a lot of us really admire her and think she's doing really hilarious good work. So
She is, and she takes no shit. Like she's no nonsense.
She don't give a
the most hilarious person on the planet. And I love that you said Tony Hale too. I'm so looking forward to the return of Arrested Development. I just can't even hardly contain.
I'm so nervous. I'm so nervous.
I know, we all are, but No, I know. There's all sorts of things going on in this building.
We're all going to be murdered.
This is it.
I think we're safe up here. This seems.
You can't tell in the video, but yes, there's a murderer standing it's horrifying.
Yes.
All right, let's talk about Halloween. What are you guys doing for Halloween? How do you feel about Halloween?
Love Halloween. It's like my favorite holiday. I got my costume. I'm going as a gorgeous ladies of wrestling from the 80s.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
I ordered a wig.
Perfect transition. We got to talk about Alison Brie.
Yes. So I'm going as that. And I'm going to a concert actually on Halloween night.
As a gorgeous lady of wrestling?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Who are you seeing?
I'm going to see, my fiance's a huge fan of a band called Fish.
Oh, no.
But the lead singer of that band, Trey Anastasio, does a solo show that's actually amazing, and it's big band. And I've seen him before, and he's actually, that show is great, so I'm going to that. But it's everybody dresses up. So, I don't know.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Sounds like fun.
I have no plans. No, but I will say Halloween, I feel like if you're an actor, Halloween had to be your favorite holiday, right? Like if you ended up
Absolutely.
being an actor, it was like the dream holiday. No, I have 2 outfits for my dog, and one is a cheerleader with pom-poms and one is a raptor.
What kind of dog?
I have a pug Frenchie mix named Lucy, and I'll probably dress her up and take a walk around the block.
That's literally what my husband and I did last year. We dressed our dog up. And we didn't have any plans, so we dressed her up. It was some Star Wars thing. There was a little dude riding her back. I don't know. We walked up and down the street in our neighborhood, and people were all delighted, and we felt like we were really doing God's work that day by bringing joy to the people of our neighborhood, and that's what we did last Halloween.
It's a good thing to do.
Awesome.
It's a huge hit. That's what I've done that with Lucy like 3 years, where I walk and people, and it's like it's so sad that's my joy. As I walk my dog in the costume, and everyone's like, I love the costume, and I'm like, thank you so much. I got it online. It's crazy, right? It's like
For some odd reason, listening to you say that, like I have 2 different costumes for my dog or whatever, I was thinking, like, what if you didn't have a dog at all?
Right. I thought that's where that was going, yeah.
We're all making eye contact.
She's not going to do
I was going to say, I'm actually having a very similarly sad Halloween to Katy Colloton.
Awesome, great.
We're really cool plans. My dog is also wearing a costume. He's going as Beetlejuice.
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 Oh
my God. We already did it. Yeah, so George is my dog, and he's going as Beetlejuice. And we'll probably just do a little,
walk around the block.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do you actually take him up do you go door to door and see if you can get him treats?
No, I will not be doing that. How creepy. Hello.
I know a dog owner that does that.
Oh, and I'm sure she's very nice.
No, she's totally creepy.
Right here. So sorry.
Sorry, Beth. I'm so sorry. I'm just calling you out like that. I'm sorry.
Is Charlotte, does she have a costume?
Yeah, I bought her a little Wonder Woman. She's 2 months old. So a little Wonder Woman.
She's a human baby.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Not a dog.
With a cape, and we're going to a pumpkin. I don't have a costume for myself, but we're going to a pumpkin carving.
You should go as one of the women like on the island.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah, so you could be like literally her mother.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, that's a really good idea.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
It all comes together on Friend or Foe.
Yeah. We would have never figured that out otherwise.
There it is. You go as Robin.
Robin Wright.
Oh, her auntie.
Robin Wright.
Careful.
Yeah,
That's her aunt. That's true.
That's over.
Well, I'm not dressing up, I don't think. We all went to an event recently. We all wore Handmaid's Tales outfits.
That's
so we all
awesome.
had the bonnets. And our wonderful makeup artist, Karen Stein from Teachers, gave me the messed up eye. Have you watched the show, Handmaid's Tale? Have you watched it?
I haven't.
Shame.
I know.
But anyway, there's a character who gets her eye cut out because she's like, no, I don't want to be a breeding machine. And so Karen did a really amazing eye gouge out thing for me, so that was kind of fun.
It did look amazing.
It looked pretty
It looked
good.
really
It was
cool.
pretty disturbing. So I got the Insta photo for that. So I'm good for Halloween costumes. But my husband and I are gonna go to see the Bella, not on Halloween, but the weekend before, we're gonna go see Bela Lugosi's 1930s Dracula, but with Philip Glass and the Kronos Quartet doing the music
That'd
along
be
with
so
it.
cool.
So that we're
Whoa.
yeah, pretty cool.
Oh, that sounds incredible.
Yeah. You might win.
You guys are really
Indeed.
cultured.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys really are.
We've seen The Handmaid's Tale. He was a Handmaid's Tale.
Handmaid's Tale.
Have you seen? That's like my mother.
Has
I
you seen
I was just home in Detroit with my parents, and they're very Midwestern, and they pluralize everything, or they not pluralize, but I guess they add the possessive s at the end of everything. So it's like we're gonna go to Targets and Myers and Fords. You know, they're not that bad, but I know a lot of people. They do say Myers, Kroger's.
Oh, God, I thought it was Myers and Kroger's.
No, girl, it's
You're
not.
so Midwest.
It ain't.
No, girl.
I've said it my whole
The
life.
Jewel and
I love it.
Go to Kroger.
It ain't.
Well, as long as you don't do that thing where you call all soft drinks a Coke, like I like a Coke, what kind?
confusing.
That's completely illegal.
just-
Pop is totally legal. That is okay.
dad
I'm from the
said pop
Midwest.
in
It's
his home. Yeah.
it's pop. I called it soda, but everyone else called it pop. So pop is totally legal. Yeah.
Wait, where are you from?
Southern Illinois. I claim St. Louis.
My husband's family lives in Heron, Illinois.
Oh yes, been through there many times. I'm from Centralia. No one's ever heard of
I've
Centralia.
heard of that.
You
sounds
do?
Like that sounds like a sci-fi
You're the only one.
movie title, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Illinois State.
Ah, okay.
So I am familiar with the
It's near Carbondale, sort of, kind of. Not really.
My father-in-law teaches at SIU.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I have frowny face when I talk about Centralia because it's like I'm just glad I'm not from there anymore. I mean, I'm glad to be, hometown roots and all, but it's a scary place, man.
Sounds
It's
like
one
my
of those.
Sounds like my husband's
It's
experience.
just one of those places that you're continually living in fear of never being able to leave there. You know, it's just like constantly
This is
soul-sucking.
exactly what my husband does. When we go home, he's like, "Oh, a lot of people haven't been able to leave."
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No.
They do have a Walmart.
Yes.
Thank you for pluralizing.
Yes.
You're welcome.
Yes. Which is now a Super Walmart's in Centralia. They upgraded after like 20 years.
I never knew that existed.
Yeah, it's like heavy duty. I remember I went to school in North Carolina, and one of my friends was from a small town, like 2 hours away. And she used to tell me she would go on dates to the Walmart. It was like a big thing. And we went to the Walmart.
I'm very sad to say I've done it.
And there was a line, like a car line to get into the Walmart, like it was like the county fair. I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
I grew up in a.
Anyway, we
I
went.
was like,
We waited in the line.
Yeah, I just, it makes me very sad to think about it, but it's absolutely true. Yeah, it's because that's the only place in town to go. Strangely enough, Centralia has 2 McDonald's. They put a lot of, all of the city's budget goes into the high school because they have the winningest basketball team in the nation. The Orphans.
wow.
Wait, the mascot
called
is the Orphans?
Yes, they're called the Orphans.
It's just one mascot.
So sad. The saddest.
Centralia's just so
I'm so sorry, everyone in Centralia, everyone at home listening to this. I'm just
Just sad and constant looking for
pooping on
family.
Centralia all the
Like, what
time.
is the
It's
deal?
Annie. Little Orphan Annie is the.
Any animal would be better than the orphan.
I know.
But Annie's
Not
lost.
racist.
That is true.
Well, we haven't seen the mascot,
Yeah,
so
that's true.
we don't know that for sure.
Oh man. All right. So, what can we look forward to on the upcoming? I know there's going to be a dance party. That's very awesome. For your characters, what sort of things are happening that we can look forward to? I know you can't give away too many spoilers, but
Yeah. Well, with Mrs. Nab, I said we're getting a little bit more political and social with the breastfeeding and the girls in math and science. But there's also an episode about the library that's really fun that kind of has a horror motif with it. It's actually a Halloween episode. It's interesting. It won't air on Halloween or anytime close to it.
No, awkward. It's awkwardly close to it. It's like
It's,
too
I guess you're right.
close.
It's airing, I think, November 28th, the Halloween episode.
Okay.
And it's super fun. All the characters are in their Halloween costume. The snap is sexy Ruth Bader Ginsburg. And it's a really fun episode that will air November 28th. That's what I'll say. But that's one that I'm excited about.
I'm really excited about. Oh, I think I can say this. If I can't, oh well. Miss Bennigan goes on her first date with Hot Dad, just like a big. They go out for the first time. That's really fun. And we also, the 1940s episode is really fun. I'm excited for people to see that.
I'm most excited about, there's a plot we have about standardized testing, and I was a fourth grade teacher for a long time, and I just had a lot of issues with testing, so it was really fun to be able to sort of like comedically.
I've been doing that all morning, as you can tell. It's totally fine.
Comedically sort of put our point of view about testing in the show.
Awesome.
My character is engaged in a new relationship.
Ooh.
So that's something big for her. So she's dating someone new. That'll be a nice surprise for people, I think. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Watch Teachers. Watch Teachers November 7th and TVLand 10 Central.
So Deb has some big life changes this season. I don't want to pooch it, so I'm not going to, but it's very exciting. And something that I'm looking forward to is completely immature. There's a plot about a serial pooper. So someone that's been pooping all over the school, no one knows who it is.
Which is a thing, by the
Yeah,
way.
this is a thing that like
I've heard about that.
we've been hearing these stories for the last 5 years. We've been working on Teachers from the web series to now as teachers talk about there's always a kid that just like poops places that isn't the toilet. And so we've been trying to pitch this idea for a while, and the network was not like really into us doing like poop plots. I don't know why.
What?
Because it's really
TVLand isn't into
important, hard hitting issues. But we finally found a way. So I can't wait to reveal the poop plot to the world.
As they said in Jurassic Park, poop will find a way. Right?
That is what they said.
That's the famous line, yeah. So do you work with a lot of teachers? Do you bring them in as consultants and things like that?
No. Caitlyn's a teacher. Caitlyn taught in Chicago Public Schools, in elementary schools, so she's our resident teacher. She's our consultant. But we all have friends and family that are teachers who are always dying to tell us stories. And a lot of people online, we have some great relationships with some fans online who love to share their stories. And so, and also like we all remember times when we were kids and things that were going on at our elementary school. And I think that's one of the really cool things about teachers is it's very nostalgic. We hit on things that are kind of timeless and people in their 40s remember during an elementary school, and that they're probably still doing an elementary school. So it's appealing to parents, I think, also, because they're seeing that again with their kids. We try to keep in the loop on what's going on and talk to our friends and family, but we haven't like sat down with a focus group or anything like that.
How is it working with all of the kids?
They're great. They're very, very professional. We're really lucky to like work with kids who are real actors, and they come in. Yeah, like us. They come in and they know their lines, and they're awesome.
And they've been members of SAG like 7 years longer than we have, since they were like 6 months old.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and all of us joined like 2 years ago.
Yeah, they're amazing. They're very professional, and we've had some like amazing kids on the show who have like gone on to really big stuff. I feel like every movie I'm watching now, I'm like, oh, there's so and so. Oh, there's so-and-so.
Westworld. We've seen our kids lots of commercials, but Westworld. One of our kids has a recurring now on Last Man on Earth, Designated Survivor. This Is Us.
Chris Evans. Yeah, it was the Chris Evans movie. So.
Yeah.
Transparent.
Yeah.
These are professional kids. Do not think we're just bringing in anyone.
A commercial with Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So they're awesome. They're really good.
We have George and Amal Clooney's twins on the show coming up.
Ooh. Okay.
And Libby Carter.
And that was us. They're the smartest preschoolers you've ever seen.
Yeah.
Right. I'm so elated by all these ridiculous kids' names.
Yeah.
Diamond. Well, that's okay. Diamond's okay. Apple.
Is Diamond okay?
I was gonna say, is it?
You're right. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Please don't do that to your kids, parents. Honestly. Got to talk about Alison Brie. She's one of the executive producers for the show, and of course,
Yes.
she's also doing Glow.
Yeah.
I watched her in Community. She's, and I've heard from everyone that I've talked to, anyone that's worked with her, that she's just pleasant and wonderful and amazing. Do you agree?
Yes, we do. Yeah, we fell in love with her when we were looking to sell the web series as a show. A few of us had moved out to LA already. A few of us are back in Chicago, and all the Chicagoans came out. We had a bunch of meetings with potential showrunners and EPs because they wanted to get a name on the project. William Morris Endeavor, that is, which was the agency we were working with, because we're nobodies. And you know,
That's not true, but-
thank you, but it really is. And they were like, we need a name on the project, you know. So Alison was one of the people we met with, and we just fell in love with her. And she felt like the seventh Katy did right away. And her mom was a teacher, and so yeah, she signed on to be an EP on the show. It was really exciting, and we were all huge fans of hers.
She also was really kind enough to do our pilot episode. She has a cameo in our pilot where she was nice enough to come in, and we dressed her up in a goat costume, and somebody pointed out, they were like, you're putting one of the most beautiful women in the world in a goat costume. And we were like, oh, we didn't think about that.
Yeah.
But she was such a good sport, and she's
Nothing
so
about that.
funny. And yeah, she's lovely.
Have you guys seen Glow?
Yes.
I am dying to see Glow. I have not watched it yet. I cannot wait to see it.
Oh, it's great. I love it. I watched all the episodes. She's phenomenal on it. Yeah.
The same woman who did
Yeah.
our costumes for this season did the costumes.
Oh, on Glow also?
Yeah.
I've watched like the previews and like parts of like episodes that I've seen online. It's like amazing, but no, I need to like start at the beginning. It looks
It's really
incredible.
phenomenal, and she
Yeah,
really
it's-
does do such an amazing job in it. I had the great pleasure of having Brittany Young, who's also on the show, and just lovely. They're all lovely, amazing people. I was doing research for this last night. I was supposed to go to a Glow event with Allison and Mark Maron. And I don't remember who else was supposed to be there, but I was like, nope, I have work to do. No, this is much more important.
I don't know.
No, trust me. Okay, so I will ask you, do you have any questions for me?
Oh.
I have one.
Please.
What is the weirdest thing that's ever happened to you during in an interview? Like while you've
You're
been
going
doing
to say
one?
in life. And I was like, okay, girl.
I don't know that I've had enough to gauge.
Okay.
Thank you. I'm not important either. But thanks. Fishing. Wow. Well, okay. I just did this podcast called The Podcaster's Life, and it just came out yesterday, actually. And he sent me an email of all the things that he was going to bring up in the conversation. So, like, he was very professional about it and everything. He is a certified coach at all. And I read the email and I was like, yeah, okay, no problem. And then, so it had that he was going to do an improv on there. And I was like, okay, I'm ready. Well, how he does it is his daughter writes random things and drops them in a fishbowl, and then he pulls them to bring out at the end of the show. Well, he pulled duckbills. I was lost. I don't usually. I'm decent at riding the improv wave for the most part, but for some reason I couldn't pull anything. I was just like, We had a lot of dead air. I haven't actually listened to the episode yet, and I mean, that's by no means the worst thing that's ever happened to me.
No, but it is one of those like awkward moments.
Oh,
where
it
you're
was
like,
so bad. I
get it.
just couldn't.
Yeah.
It was
We've
just
been
like
there.
nothing clicking, man.
For a long time, I mean, we did improv forever, and someone will shout a suggestion at you, and it's like maybe you have no idea what that is, and it makes you feel so awkward or stupid. But we did a show for our improv form for a long time. Was we get a suggestion and we'd tell a personal monologue from our life that was inspired by that word. And you just find tricks to get to it. You're like, duckbill. Oh, let me see. Oh, duckbill makes me think of ducks, which makes me think of being by this pond when I was little and how this duck bit me. And then, you kind of find a way to like move away from it, and so you're not actually talking about the thing. Usually people go with it as long as you do a decent job, but otherwise it's like you generally don't have someone coming up to you at the end of the show like, point of order, that was not about duckbills. And people are just like, that was funny.
Do you remember, because our form was starting with a monologue, and I remember I just have this vivid memory of we at one point got laundry detergent like 2 shows in a row, and that's already like a hard
Deodorant.
one.
I think it's deodorant.
Or it's deodorant. I just remember the second time getting it, and like already the person, whatever it was, I don't remember, who had done the first monologue was like, deodorant, smell. I'm not sure I shower, but it wasn't really like a full story. And then you get it again, and it was like, oh wow, same suggestion. I just have such a memory of all of us just looking at each other like, anyone got anything?
Another deodorant story? And you can't turn to the answer like, oh, we've already gotten that.
Oh. Yeah, someone already said that. Thank you, though.
There's a show called The Crazy Uncle Joe Show that they do at Groundlings, and they have they do a thing now where they're like they just give you things not to say because they've had the same suggestions a billion times,
Yeah.
But I love live theater. I love going to improv shows. I'm trying to get out there and see more of them. Do you guys still, I know you're obviously very busy with the show, do you still do improv shows?
We don't regularly. We used to every once in a while, but right now we don't have anything, but that's not to say we won't in the future, just because we're writing right now. I think we're so busy. But maybe down the line, we'll bring it back.
We're improvising for Matt Besser's podcast, Improv for Humans, next week.
Oh, that's great.
But yeah, haven't improvised in a while, so we'll see how that goes. But Ian Roberts, our showrunner, will be joining us for that set too, so that'll be really fun.
Always good to have help.
Yeah.
Shameless plugs. Where can we find you should you wish to be found?
This is very important.
You should find us on demand on TVLand, or is it Wednesday nights? Starting November 7th? Tuesday nights.
It's very important.
Oh my god,
What day of the week is
I
that?
love it. Tuesday nights, starting November 7th.
It used to be Wednesdays in her defense.
Yes.
It used to be. It's now Tuesdays.
Now Tuesdays, 10, 9 Central. You can also find us on iTunes, on Amazon, TVLand app. TVLand app or TVLand.com. You can watch online through your cable.
If you download the app, I think all the episodes are free as they come out. I think.
Yeah, I think leading up to the release of this next season, I think they unlock them. I think sometimes you need a cable login, but I think they do unlock them. We're starting to release new episodes.
Yeah, they're up right now, like all the seasons, like that you can catch up to.
That's awesome. I like to, I use Google Cast, so I like bring it up on the app and then watch it on the TV.
Yeah,
nice.
It's much more fun that way, honestly. Where can people find you individually, like online? Twitter, Instagram, Facebook?
You can find me at Miss Kathryn Renee on Twitter and Instagram, and then Facebook. There's a Kathryn Renee Thomas page. Also for the show, it's at Teachers Series on Instagram and on Twitter.
Yes, that's going to be blasted into the social media stratosphere when the show comes out. Don't you worry.
Twitter and Instagram for myself is at It's Kate Lambert. I had to put the it's there because somebody else got me there first, and that's what you got to do.
She won't stop talking about it.
I know. I journal about it every day.
It's so embarrassing.
I write haikus. It's hard to get it out in so few syllables, but I get it out.
Instagram, I am Caitlyn GB, and Twitter, I am Caitlyn __ Barlow. I really should have put more thought into
2 underscores.
Why is it 2? I don't know.
Hey, double the pleasure, double the fun, right? That's okay.
__.
I've never seen a double underscore. I don't think I've noticed that.
I haven't either.
Yeah, wow, double her score. Okay.
Double score. Yeah.
I don't know my handles, so your guess is as good as
That's okay. I will find out.
I don't know that.
Okay.
Katy
It's all right.
Claire O'Brien.
Oh, okay.
We all know.
There we go.
Literally your name.
Katy Claire O'Brien.
She doesn't know her name.
I don't know.
We do remind her every morning of who she is.
Oh my god.
And I'm Katy Colloton, and it's Katy Colloton on Twitter and Instagram, and it's at Katy Calls10, because you know why
I
not.
love it. Nice.
Because you know why not.
She does call it on.
Bitch, don't quit.
Yeah.
We're very
yeah.
social media savvy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
Underscore.
On call. And that brings me to thank you so much, Beth Prudell, for helping me out, and appreciate you all being here. Thank you so very much for joining me. And yeah, see you on the next one.
Thanks.